Hello again, everyone. It's Maria Kaneko Millar here with Tiger. Tiger insisted on having a lap, and what Tiger wants, Tiger gets. So you are getting Tiger today as well. Welcome to the Fearless Performer Series, and today we talk about composition. Now, first off, thanks for watching the videos, liking, subscribing. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions, just put them in the comment section, and I would love to address them. And last of all, if you want a summary of all these keys, then all you have to do is sign up on the link that you'll see in the description, okay? Now, moving on to composition. This was actually the toughest one to talk about because all I want to say is do it. But I need to say more than that, but describing it is kind of like describing how I breathe or walk because it's been for decades now such a central part of my art creation and my career. And so I was talking with my life and musical and love partner, Sean, and we were saying, what can I say about this? And it hit me like a ton of bricks, and I was so excited to share this with you. I believe you should compose because composing teaches you how it feels to write the rules. Now, in classical music, when we study an instrument, we're taught how to follow the rules over and over. And even the idea of writing something isn't even suggested to us. I know I happened upon composition because I wanted to give it a try. No teacher told me to go out and do it. And so this world in which you're constantly following rules, it can create a sense of inferiority, a sense of helplessness even, because you feel like you're still not playing well enough. And if you're playing in tune, well, you're not interpreting it well enough. And when you write a piece, you are putting a stake in the ground. You're saying, this is my voice, this is what I have to say. And then you know that feeling of composition and of writing the rules. And also, once you have that feeling, then you know that as a performer, you should never sound like you're following the rules. So back in 2009, I was performing the Beethoven Spring Sonata. And mid-concert, I thought, wow, I am not convincing myself, and I must not be convincing the audience either. And I decided then and there, I am not going to play pieces where I don't sound like I could have written them myself. Like, I need to believe in it enough that I sound like I'm writing the rules. So I actually dare you to find a video of me post-2009 where I don't sound like I'm writing the rules, because I made a clear decision to weed out a whole bunch of rep and just play pieces where I felt like I had something to offer it. Now, you will be very happy to know that I had a triumphant first composition. It was when I was 19. I decided, okay, I've tried some arrangements and I feel the calling. I'm going to write a piece. So I sat down and I was so excited. I was writing it out, and it turned out to be note for note the Larkus ending by Vaughan Williams. I'd never played that piece, but I'd heard it and I was crushed. I thought, oh my God, do I not have an original bone in my body? So that could have dissuaded me, but I did not let it. And fortunately, I've not been in a situation since then where I've plagiarized a piece note for note, or at least I don't think I have yet. But that should make you feel a little better about what you can accomplish, because your first composition will surely be better than mine. Now, how to get into composition. I think I want to let you into a few secrets that will help you along the way. These will dispel some myths out there that might be keeping you from doing it. So first secret is, you don't need lessons. I have never had a composition lesson, and I feel like all the studying I did on the violin and all the great repertoire I've played from centuries of composers that were so great that their music is still played today, that gave me an education in understanding how to start writing notes, how to do counterpoint, how to create chord changes, and everything I experience in life. So stories, music I hear, whether it's in stores or in new cultures, all of that enters me subconsciously and can give me some ideas to write a new piece. So you do not need lessons. I don't think you should not have lessons if you want to have them. But you know, there's something about finding your voice and not feeling like you need someone to tell you how to do it. So that's the first secret. Second secret is your first idea will not sound good. Actually, even now, when I write a piece, and I've written dozens of pieces by now, when you write a piece, the first melody that you might come up with will usually sound, well, at least in my case, trite, very plain. And so it's in the process of editing that I make that melody something that's memorable. And I am a very, very, very hardcore editor. So most of my composition process is actually quite frustrating. Unlike sight reading and improvisation, where I could do it for hours and feel on top of the world because it's so exciting and exhilarating. And it's not something that I'm leaving out there for the entirety of my history. With composition, there's a lot of plateaus you hit and you just keep pushing through it. Now, the good side of when you work hard on a composition is, at least in my case, when I'm finished a piece, I stand by every note. I've considered every combination of notes that I could have put down, and I've chosen the ones that I stand by. So even decades later, I don't want to change a single note in my compositions. So don't be held up if you write something and you don't think it sounds very good. Now, what's an easy way to get into composition? I think it's arranging. So remember in multi-genre techniques, I was talking about how you should listen to a song and write it out in a new genre. Well, you can do this with any song. And in the process of writing it out, this is what I experienced. I was bored with the idea of just writing it exactly out as is. So I started playing around with it. I decided, hey, I could build upon this. I could create a development on top of that main theme that makes it grow, that gives it even more depth. And there's composition for you. So I would say start by arranging something. And then you can add a few extra notes. You can add some bass line notes, some double stops. You can add some ornaments. Whatever you do, that's you now adding your own voice to it. Now, the other way to go about composition is to create an etude. And this is an assignment I've given my 10-year-old student. She's now composed for 2 years. And I love that she doesn't have the hang-ups of, I'm not a composer. So she just goes and does it. So she was struggling with fifth position. So I said, create an etude in it. And then she was struggling with bouncing bows. So I said, create an etude in that. Then we tied it together and that became a full piece. So take something that you're working on, because this is another secret. Anything that you compose will become your technique. So even with the different genres I've learned, in the process of composing a piece in that style, that's how I learned this style. So this is some next level just education that's going to get you fearless on stage. And that's really the whole point of this series is I want you to get on stage and feel like $1,000,000, because that will transmit to the audience. And of course, it will make you feel really good. So please go out there and compose. And in that act of creation, it's going to spread to other parts of your life. Like maybe you want to make a music video and you decide, hey, I have some theatrical ideas. All of this is part of creation. And really, it's the ultimate expression of who you are. And I trust, too, that when you go back when you go back to playing Bach, you're going to play it with new sounds. And in my case, I actually have to improvise when I play Bach, because I want to not just play the notes he wrote hundreds of years ago, but I want to kind of pay a tribute to his spirit and add mine as well. So I hope this inspires you to do that. Actually, I haven't even talked about the piece that you're going to hear. It's a piece I wrote called 4 Seasons Rising. And it is a development from an air to a strathspey to a reel, and it was great fun playing it. So without further ado, here is 4 Seasons Rising. See you tomorrow.